I got some time. I had no idea it was this early in the morning. Well, first things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC with gunmetal crystal edge technology screens. Man, what's going on with my stand? I gotta push here. There we go. Something there. Where's Louise? All right, I'm gonna get some free copyrighted music, but I want to keep this one right here. So I like this music. It's got a nice beat to it. I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna pop over to other YouTube on here. Get some copyright free music. Because I don't want to kill my chill music. My chill music is nice. So let's go over to coffee. Free music. Yeah, you already know what I want. Alright. So I got a little bit more time before I gotta leave out the door. So is this copyright free? Oh, I'm about to say, because this one's calm. I like this music. Right. It's just a copyright free music, right? Where we at on this? Yeah, give me something. Alright, there we go. I'll take that. Oh, I'm definitely coming back to that. That music is pretty nice. Alright, so let's talk about free mixes. Because again, you know, I get this all the time. And you get people to get upset over this, but your stuff needs to be tested. Because if it's not tested, again, you run the risk of basically falling into the tones. You don't know what the tones are? Tones are, hold on for a minute, let me see what's going on here, because I got constant commercial on in the background back there. We don't want to hear all that. Anyway, so the tones are pretty much the Home Depot, Lowe's, Benjamin Moore, Sherwin Williams, any one of them. Ace is the place. I think Ace is the place sells paint, right? I'm not sure. I think Ace is the. But anyway, these are the places you got to worry about, because anybody can go to a Home Depot, Lowe's, any of these places, and slide one of these tones off a shelf, and it'll do the exact same thing as a gray screen paint will. This is why I'm glad I didn't have to go through this nightmare when I freaking was making gray screen paint products, because this would have put me out of business. So these are the tones. Oh, wrong mouse. I forget we're on two different computers at the same time. We'll go over to just basic Home Depot. I gotta go to Home Depot today anyway. I'll buy some tones. I'll get some samples. But anyway, this is what you gotta worry about. Back when I was coming up, tones didn't exist. It was just black and white paint. Yeah, Behr 1050, Behr silver screen I remember was coming on when I was in there, and some black paint. Pretty much everybody did the same thing. Now the tones, whole new nightmare, because now there's a whole selection of gray paints out there. So the question is, does your stuff match any of this stuff? Now, the whole purpose of people buying these grayer paints is not for white levels. That's completely backwards. It's going in a totally different direction. That is for better contrast, better color. Why in the world would you want a screen to produce a higher white level? And bigger question, and I still haven't seen it yet, what is the difference between other gray paints and other gray paints? What's the difference? Mind you, we've seen an individual match 2 times trying to do this, and then one other time he came up with some product that was supposed to make his screen produce a higher white level. Again, the opposite of a gray screen. It's the other way. You want to produce a higher contrast, not a higher white level. You already had that already, because the screen's a lighter paint. You want to achieve a higher contrast, not white level. But anyway, so problem you have there is the fact that how does that also compare to the tones? I've only seen 2. I've seen Behr, I've seen Network Gray, there's Slip Silver, there's a whole bunch of them. Let's just go over to Home Depot. We're gonna go pop over to Home Depot because I gotta be over there today anyway. I gotta pick up some more glass, and man, the selection of grays in there are freaking unbelievable. Thank goodness we don't make gray paint anymore. As for the black paint selection, been there, done that already. Yeah, we've done those demonstrations. We got them literally all through our website. You can watch our black on black demonstrations. In one demonstration, I literally got so bored, I threw a hoodie and a pair of pants up there. Yeah, so we've done that to death. We're done on that. But other products, you got to figure out exactly what you're buying, what you're getting. Let's get over here and let's grab this Home Depot. These are all the gray paints up here. That will do the exact same thing as any gray screen paint. This is PPG. They don't just make a silver, they actually make a gray. And again, very affordable. $60 is 5 gallons. I paid, the one I made was around $14 a gallon. Yeah, so that's 60 bucks for 5 gallons. That's a 5-gallon container right there. Let me see. Let me show you right there. Boom, 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 boom. 5 gallons. That's 5 gallons for 60 bucks. So what they charge for $60, even at 60 bucks, you can buy a 5-gallon container of paint that will do the exact same thing. What they're going to have to prove is my product does something completely different. Now, what we saw in the other demonstration where claiming you pull a higher white level, that's bad. That's bad all the way around. That's something you don't want. Because keep in mind, you're still going to have to show contrast levels. And contrast levels, that screen won't be degenerated because it's going to have an issue because the white levels are tremendously way too high. On top of that, if you're saying just one gray screen, what about the rest of them? Do you know how many different versions of paint that I've tested a black screen against? So you can't just do one, you have to do multiples. Also too, another major red flag is we're talking about a particular YouTuber who did this demonstration. Same paint, same product, but yet when it went against the network grade 773, it matched, same paint. Coming back again for the second time or another round, it's a different match. It's something different. So that doesn't make any sense. That's completely bonkers. So the question that leads to the consumer is, how many of these gray paints can they debunk? How many gray paints will not match their products? You have to do more than just one. So that's why I tell you that don't believe that at the end of the day. Just go out and get yourself some gray paint. If you want to go with a gray screen, or you can make our free mix. We give a mix out for free, the digital and crystal screen paint. That's actually a challenge. We haven't seen anybody do that one yet. But anyway, so this right here, you can pick this up at Home Depot. This is 5 gallons for around 60 bucks. $60. If I want to get 1 gallon, which I did buy, 1 gallon cost me around $14.98. This is what they have to fear, the tones. Well, let's see if I wanted to come out of PPG. I want to check out that glitten. All right, here's the glitten. Let me see what glitten would cost me. All right, here's the glitten right here. This is flat and here's one we have in the thumbnail. This one right here would cost me around $21 a gallon. That's a heck of a lot cheaper than $60. Keep in mind, one of the things I didn't like about that demonstration was the fact that there were no other gray screens up there besides that particular special one only. So it doesn't help that person. It kind of piques the curiosity on what other paints that screen can do that to. Now, that's the one person we saw do that. Mine uses the same product that matched other products. So again, I wouldn't go near that with a 10-foot pole. As for the other gray screens, well, yeah, this is going to be a problem for them. The tones are nightmares because the tones can do the exact same thing that a lot of gray paints can do out there. And if you have no testing under your product, especially before you sold it, this is going to get you in a great deal of trouble. That means you sold an untested product on the market without any tests. We had yesterday, we were showing up that blue technology for that visual glass display. We had someone inquire for samples. We can't give you samples. We can't give you anything. That screen's under testing. That thing won't come out until 2024 because there's a ton of testing that has to go under the screen. Oh, keep in mind that blue technology, that is not in any way going to be a projection screen. It's not for movies. It's not for this. It's done for visual, special effects, 3D mapping applications, stuff like that. But no, not for movies. But the fellow was required about the sample. Thank you for your interest. But no, our stuff is tested at the end of the day. So we can't even give you anything of it because it has to go through testing. And anything in 2024 or stuff we have now is going to have patents and patent provisions and all that good stuff. So we don't have any complications along the way. All right, now let's get back to this gray product. So gray screens, are they tested? From what I've seen so far, no. I haven't seen a lot of test demonstrations. And one of the test demonstrations you have to do versus a gray screen, the most important one is gray versus gray. Now, did we have these tests when I was making gray screen paints? No, we didn't have these tests at all, period. The whole purpose of the gray screen, well, gray screen did demonstrations against a white screen. That was the whole purpose of the designing of the gray screen. to compete with the white screen. So that's what you saw in a lot of demonstrations, side by side, the white screens. If you're doing that now today, that's not really a test because again, it's really been done to death. Now with these gray tones out here on the market, you're going to have to show the difference between your product and another gray paint that a customer can pick up. The reason why the gray paints became popular and they sold due to the fact that, satin. What did it satin? How much would this cost me in satin? Curious. How much would this cost me if I got this in flat? What does this cost me in a quart? But anyway, I'm going to put the quart in a few minutes. Now today, it's different. Today, you have to worry about the tones. This is what you would have to worry about. A product that a customer can slide off a shelf, he or she can slide off a shelf, and it would do the exact same thing. And keep in mind, in order to show that you have some kind of credibility, you got to knock out 10 of these bad boys. Do you know how many black paints we've knocked out on a black versus black? We are way over the 10 level. Not only that, I've made other black paints or live on camera to put against my own product. I've done fabrics, I've done micro mesh, I've done mesh, I've done plastic, I've done films, I've even done black duct tape, black printing paper, you name it, we have done it on that screen. So again, we can back our stuff up. As for, and mind you, we've done this at 1,000 lumens, we've done this outside, we've done this inside, we've done this everywhere, just to show you exactly how far we went with this. Because again, I love doing black on black demonstrations. I freaking love it. We're the ones that actually started that. The glass screen that we do in our demonstrations, we've done that so many times. As a matter of fact, I want to do another one today for the PC versus on a black surface. I love doing that so much. You have no idea how much fun I love doing black versus black demonstrations. But you should have that kind of mentality. So people that won't do these demonstrations, they fear this. All right, let's see how much a quart would cost me if I wanted to get this. Is this going to cost me $60? No, $10. That's what a quart's going to cost me. For PPG 101, this is a 101-5 Dover Gray, flat interior, latex paint. It's going to cost me $10.98 for a quart. This is the exact same color as a lot of the gray mixes out here on the market. So that's for a quart. That's what a quart's going to cost me, $10. So what's the difference between this $10 quart and these gray screen paints on the market? That quart cost me $10. Why would I go out and spend the money for a product? Number one, a gray screen, because the reason why I'm getting this, sorry, my commercial playing in the background here. The reason why I would buy this gray color, because I can go and buy a white paint if I want higher white levels. Why would I buy the gray? Because the gray is going to give me a much more darker shade of gray. It's going to produce a better contrast than the white surface. That's why I'm going to buy the gray. So why would I buy gray if it produces a higher white level? Then that defeats the purpose of me getting a darker level, which I need for better contrast and better ambient light control. See what I mean? So again, not good the way to go that route. So if I'm going to buy this gray paint, this is what I'm going to go for. It's going to cost me $10.98. I can go pick it up at Lowe's or Home Depot. There's no surcharge fee if I'm buying it overseas. We have cell phones, so we can order right up the Home Depot app or whatever you want to get it from. And again, there's no difference. What's the difference between the two products? You don't know that because there were no tests done. So why am I going to spend $60? I'm just going to spend $10.98. It has a perfect gray tone to it. And on top of that, I can get this color tone to any tone that I want of gray. See, there you go. There's your threat. There's your nightmare. You ain't worry about me at the end of the day. You got to worry about these nightmares. Now, the reason why people, when these paints didn't exist, say that they did exist, right? Or say they didn't exist. When they didn't exist, the reason why people bought gray screen paints because they wanted the exact same combination of how much black they put into the paint to get that perfect tone. That's what they wanted. They wanted that. And since they didn't feel comfortable with putting that black paint in themselves, feel that they would screw it up or mess it up, they would pay someone to do it. That's where gray screen paint became up. People started buying it. because there were no tones. Now you have tones. Tones have a perfect tone of black in them. Perfect tone. No matter which one you pick, they all have a perfect tone attached to them, which is a nightmare. So that means if the customer does want to make it from scratch, they can just go over here and pop it and pick it for $10 a quart. That paint's about 120-inch screen, 1610, 16.9 of paint. If they want more and they want to get a gallon is going to cost them $21 for a gallon. So I'm spending $60 to $100 for a quart of paint that can't see a contrast level, 100% black. Only thing you can maintain is a white level, and that's not even higher than a white screen. Can't use it in a fully lit environment because it's going to wash out on you. You might as well just buy that instead. Does the same thing, exact same thing. Let's go back here and let's grab ourselves. Let me see. I'm going to see what would it cost me if I wanted to get 8 ounces of it. 8 ounces is going to cost me $5.48. That's what 8 ounces is going to cost me. So if they sit there and say at the end of the day, well, my product's different, you can't just say, you have to do. You can't just say. And when you do a demonstration on a gray screen versus yours, you just don't show off all white levels. One of the things you have to show off the most is a contrast level. And you have to do this in a fully lit environment. Because that gray paint over there, even though it's just gray paint, it does pull up in a fully lit environment. It's not the best picture in the world, but it does pull up. So you have to be seeing white levels, color levels, and contrast levels. And you have to see all this in a fully lit environment with not one gray screen, but multiple gray surfaces against the product. So you can clearly see that this is something that you want to purchase at the end of the day. If they're showing one product up there, there's no other products up there to compare it to, that right there is a problem. If it's in a dark environment, that's also another problem. If there's no contrast levels being displayed, that's another problem. For the person who did that demonstration, you got a P2 with a 2:1 contrast and you didn't show any contrast levels in there. You know why? Because the screen that basically came up darker would have pulled an insane contrast level. Your screen would have failed miserably next to that because your white levels were way too high. For anyone who wants to sit there and argue that theory, then you're arguing the theory of physics. You're definitely going against the laws of physics because, again, that is like virtually impossible. That a gray screen is going to generate a level, a white level that high, and then turn around and transition to a black level dark enough to a black screen. Not going to happen. If that was the case, that product wouldn't cost $60. It'd be somewhere in the $300, $400 range, like us. It would be in that range because our technology can generate extremely high white levels for a black screen, also maintain beautiful color and contrast, knock out certified screens in the same process, and on top of that, produce an extremely well-lit environment here and off-site. When you can knock out $5,000, $10,000 screens with ease, then your technology is worth about $400 or $500. As a matter of fact, worth a lot more than that. So, on top of that, our products don't match any form of black paint, including we let people make those products and they still fail. Guarantee you I can make a product. Actually, I do. I have the Digital One Crystal screen paint up there. Again, they're not going near it at all. Period. It's free. You can make it. Now, for the customer who doesn't want to go into buying the ingredients, making the paint, you have the tones. This is the Glidden right here. Or wait, let's go back to the Glidden. This is a paint that will cost you at 1 quart a whopping $17 if you get it in satin. Let's get it in matte. We want it matte. That's what we want. So now it's down to $15 for 1 quart. This is the Glidden Diamond right there. $15.98. So what the freak are you paying $60 for a product? at the end of the day, that can't even basically beat this. You have no, they say it can do it, you have to show it. I can't go in there to my paint and say, hey, we can take out black paint if we don't have any demonstrations showing us taking out black paint. Gotta back that up. Let's go look at some other tones here. I like this 1 gallon. I might pick this up today. This is cheap. This is $27.98. It's way under 60 bucks. Let me see. Now, if they're saying you're getting quality from this, well, you're using a 4K laser projector. Most people, I say, use high-end 4K projectors to do those demonstrations to make you think that all that's coming from the paint. It's not. If that was the case, everybody who had that product would look exactly like his, and they don't because the projector's doing all the work. There's a difference when you have a projector on a gray screen with a 2,000,000 to 1 contrast, and it's different when you have a projector on a gray screen with a 20,000 to 1 contrast. There's a difference in that one altogether. All right, let's go take a look at Home Depot. We're checking out the gray paint tones. Let's see, gray paints at Home Depot. Ooh, man, we got a bunch of these in here. This is a nice gray tone section right here. Let's pull up in here. Look at this right here. Looky, looky, looky. Think we found a cookie. All right. All of this you have. Danny, this is also a threat to you because you can also get these in grays, some dark gray products that you make, but the only difference between this dark gray and your dark gray is when you paint this down, you will actually get dark gray. When you paint yours down, you don't get dark gray, you get a complete different color. How do you start off with this color and end up with that color? That doesn't even make any sense. I know colors of paint, so I can just look at it and tell. We did that one already. Started off with this color, more like, almost like this one, that Shadow Mountain, that color right there. And ended up in the video with that color. That's a huge, massive jump from one color to the next. So for those you don't know, a fellow who makes a product under PSP, this is why I buy things to be tested. A fellow did a demonstration for him on YouTube, Solid Weight 5, a fellow YouTuber, and the product, when he opened it, started off to be dark, but as he started to shake it up, you know, paint it down, it didn't come out the same color. It came out a completely different shade. As a matter of fact, the shade was so different that it kind of looked like he never painted the screen. Both beginning and end looked exactly the same. So that's a huge, massive red flag that you might even get the color that you paid for. And then there's other problems with the range gain. That's completely fake. There's no way to prove that. It's impossible. But anyway, getting back to these tones. Let me see. Look at all these different colors we got. We got Silver Service. Ooh, that looks pretty nice. We've got Natural Gray. This is Natural Gray cost. Natural Gray. We don't need all this, thank you. Natural Gray. Man, look at these colors. Look at the Natural Gray. Look at the color of that. That's gonna match it. Screen paint. Oh my goodness. That Natural Gray looks like a beast right there. Mind you, we did this already. I told you that I know this from the door just by looking at it. We did this with the Network Gray 773, where I looked at the container and popped it and told you at the end of the day, it's going to match someone's paint. And it did. It matched Jamie's paint right to the T. Matched it to the T. So well that he removed the video off his account and marked it private. That's how well that stuff matched. And all I do is just look at it. I've made enough of this stuff to know. That right there is the killer. That's going to be a killer for any gray screen paint. And I mean for any gray screen paint, that's going to be a little nightmare. What's this called? What's the name of this one called? Because that has an unbelievable tone attached to it. Natural Gray by BEHR. Natural Gray. That Natural Gray. I might pick that up today. We need some tests to do against gray screen. Oh, what the heck? I forgot. We're not doing that anymore. We're done with that. I go back to the old habits. The glass doesn't require it. It requires a TV. We don't require freaking paints. They're not going to match that thing, and no gunmetal's going to match it. The only thing we have to compete with that thing is the actual TV. It's literally that bright. So, definitely not. I'm not wasting any of my time. I got things to do on buying that product at the end of the day. Look, at the end of the day, if they won't do the demonstrations, if they don't have the test on people, then they don't match this stuff. Anybody at the end of the day who makes a product, I say it a lot, don't I? Who says that their product can be any gray screen product, it's going to do the test. They're going to back it up. Just like if sit there and someone tells the Wright brothers at the end of the day, well, guess what? Your machine doesn't fly. They're going to show you dozens and dozens and dozens of test flight demonstrations. Whether it kills them in the process, they're going to show it because they're going to prove their theory is 100% right no matter what. You see all those demonstrations we have on black versus black? Do you have any idea? That's not even close to how many tests we've done. Black versus black demonstrations go back to 7s. That's how long we've been doing those tests. Isn't anything new we just started? We've been doing that. 7s. Dan, you didn't even exist when I was designing 7s. You were nowhere to be found. So we were doing those tests for that long. If we have a way to back something up, you're going to see it so many times, it's not even funny. We will flood YouTube with those demonstrations showing you how we can back that up. We're not going to do just one demonstration and quit. No, we're not going to do it that way. There's so many of these. How many of these are going to match your product? Oh, shoot, I forgot. I got to go order. I'm wondering if they got that already. That black slip silver. We've been trying to get our hands on that one for a while. Let me see. Amazon. Let me see. Oh, we got the mics in there. I grab my mics. We got microblend slip silver. And they got a black version that almost ran you over with a chair, didn't I? Yeah, that's what you get for sitting behind the chair. You monster. Wow. Are we gonna get a black version? I need this black version of this microblend slip silver. Oh my goodness, I swear I'm gonna crush so many screens. The black on black demonstrations, we're gonna break the mold with this freaking black screen behind us. I wonder if I can find this thing. All right, microphone is in. Microphone check, 1, 2. I need to, hold on for a minute. Amazon microblend slip silver. Come on, you gotta do better than that microphone. Amazon microblend slip silver. All right, this is the notorious microblend slip silver. Also, too, has an amazing tone attached to it. We've asked Jamie multiple times to make this product, or Crow 1176, to make this product. If you pull it up, the Amazon microblend slip silver, you will see where we asked a YouTuber, and this is a YouTuber who has a bad habit of lying on camera about his products. Sorry to put him in the video, but it is what it is. We've requested for him to do the $18.99 at the time Amazon microblend slip silver, and he has refused to do this demonstration. If he's done the demonstration, and we don't have to put his name in there, it would have popped up. But it doesn't pop up because he never did the demonstration. He fears it. Of course he does. The microblend slip silver is a very, very dangerous green paint to a great paint. Number one, it has an amazing tone to it, an amazing tone. Number two, very easy to order. If you're charging your overseas customers a $70 surcharge fee, they could order this at $18.99. It's probably worth more than that. Probably a little more than that. I think they might have sold out in the courts because they bought this up like crazy. You can have this shipped to your front door without spending a $70 surcharge fee at all, period. And he refused to do this against his product. This is how many times we literally had to ask him over and over and over again to do this demonstration, and he refused to do it. But that's the microblend slip silver. Let's go in here and let's check out the paint. Let's see if we have microblend slip silver. They got it in. They got it in stock, but then we get the black in stock. So basically, this is the microblend slip silver. All right, here. This is it's back in stock too. They got it back in stock. Back in stock at $48 a gallon. $48 a gallon, people. Oh man, you really gotta stop being behind me because I'm gonna run you over this chair one day. Okay. Sorry, people had to grab me a jukebox. I was a little bit parched. But anyway, that's the slip silver. They have it now at $48 a gallon. At $48 a gallon, compared to $60 to $90. A quart. That stuff is pretty good. So we had it here. We done the testing against these products, and these products match this product right here. That's the color of it. Tone is absolutely beautiful. $48. We have this in black. Please tell me we got this in black. I've been hunting for this for black. It's my product for the longest time. Microblend interior paints. I wonder if we have this in black. We just put down black. We got new black. I ordered this. Oh, please tell me we got it in black. I've been dying to do a demonstration against this product in black for so long. We don't have it in black. Mother freaking George. Like, really? We can't get it in black. I want it in black. I want to do the demonstration against my product. See, we'll hunt for stuff to put against our products, but man, I wanted that one. I wanted that particular one. All right, they just have it in gray. Can't get it in black. Well, anyway, that's the microblend slip silver. That's the 1 gallon for $48. This is the one I told you that has been refused multiple times. This is another one I want to see Gray Spring Paints challenge at the end of the day. How come y'all don't do this demonstration right here? I don't get it.
Cut the cable with Fios Home Internet and cut your internet bill to just $25 a month.
Amazon microblend slip silver.
The cable internet wasn't cutting mustard. Lower up those speeds, just.
There we are right there. There's Crow's YouTube challenges we put out for him to do the product. That was 2022, last year. They were never done. None of them were done at all, period. Let me explain something to you real quick to this gentleman. If you're going to do a demonstration doing the difference between your product and gray paint, you need to have more than one, not a special surface that you put up there. You need to one, because this one's been asked about 5 or 8 times. We asked him to do this one, and the Network Gray 773, because that's the one that hurt you the most. That one really did a lot of damage because he matched this product. Even after bearing receipts, he matched this product. So if he's going to do any demonstration comparing his product versus gray paints, those are the two he needs to go for. It's just Network Gray again to prove that his product doesn't match. And he'll have to do that slip silver, which we have requested multiple times, asking him to do, but he doesn't want to do it. Mr. Minnie, we got to talk about this real quick. So, downstairs on the 2.0, we got this paint to put against our product. First things first, my name is Ken, the company is quick to read, check on the screens. And we got this paint to put against our paint. We have so much worry about all kinds of great paints to test against our products to make sure our products are doing what they're designed to do. We put this against our black screens, we put this against our gray screens, and so on. So, we got a challenge
besides the necessary 773 for prep. Now keep in mind, this is one of the screen paints that we're going to put against this product when we get it down here. Whether he ships it to us or we get somebody else to ship it to us, we're going to have it down here for testing.
So we already tested this product
This right here
the slip silver.
on Amazon.
He matches this slip silver. That's why I said if any of the demonstrations, that would have been the one to do.
Some fun. We're going to have some fun. We have the sample sheet of slip silver. This is the Amazon screen paint. That's not Amazon screen, Amazon.
Now this right here, this is slip silver. This is how it reacts to our screen. We've done gray screens on our products so many times, it's not even funny. Not even funny. But these are tests you have to see. This is very important that a customer requests these tests. So like I said, any one of these paints right here would do the exact same thing, whether if it's a natural gray, it doesn't make a difference. They all do the exact same thing. And the only way that you're going to make sure that you're not getting ripped off is that that person can show you that there's a difference. Now, these right here are pretty much demonstrations on how to make your own gray paint. It's pretty easy. I mean, we've done it multiple times. We've made gray screen paints right there on camera. This if you decide you want to go down the route of basically making it yourself, which I don't know why you would, because again, even though we give out the ingredients for free, you're just better off just buying one of the tones. That right there is Bullseye Dark Primer. That actually matches the UV mix quite nicely. Show you different demonstrations where we test gray screens. They do not see contrast, they can't see color, not even in fully lit environments. It's a pointless product.
We're going to be doing a demonstration, and then all demonstrations popping up. These demonstrations are very important because we need to educate people that are going to be buying it first.
Now keep in mind when you grab any of these tones, one of the problems you're going to have is you're not going to see contrast, you're not going to see color. Like I said, you don't want to go on the IO and pull higher white levels because higher white levels means you can't see contrast. That's the last thing you want. And you do want to make sure it pulls a higher contrast, which is going to be needed when it comes to gray screens. But do you have to pay for it? Technically, no, you really don't. Unless the person can show at the end of the day that their product can show a difference than other gray tones out there. Pretty much the gray tones do the exact same thing. They do the exact same thing. There's really no difference. Now silver I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole because silver right now produces too high of a white level. This would cause your images to wash out even faster.
Pure audio. Pure air.
Kind. And it's called the one that works the best as far as you want to get a tint to it. Let's see if you can really see this. I'll put a little bit of the light into it.
Bottom line, when it comes to gray and white paints, any white level will work. You don't have to have a particular one with any white level. Now the BEHR 1050s or BEHR 2000s, whatever he's using right there, basically have a better coverage. They do. They have a better coverage. You're not going to be painting the screen twice because the paint's weak and thin. You're not going to have to go through that. But if you buy a cheaper paint, you're going to you might have to paint that surface a couple of times. The BEHR 1050 is actually the best to use if you're using it for a black and white mixture.
The color that I got is this color right here. It is called Silver Screen, and that's 770E/2. So that's the color you're gonna look for. That's reflective. You can see a little bit of the light already.
The silver screen is not reflective. We've had it here. BEHR silver screen, it's not reflective. It's still going to pick up poor white levels. It's definitely not ambient light projection. It can't absorb black levels. It's going to have problems along the way. But when I started off, we didn't have BEHR silver screen. It was just BEHR 1050, and BEHR silver screen came along later on. He's going to have to put some kind of black in that, because again, if he doesn't, the contrast levels are going to suffer horribly.
That's reflecting from the cameras, pretty good, versus over here you see where the dark is kind of flat. Just give you a color example, but that's the paint that I'm going to paint this wall that I was going to use as a projector. I thought black would be phenomenal.
So he's just going to use basic BEHR silver screen. Oh man, he's definitely going to have to be in the dark with it. Contrast levels, he is not going to pick up any of it at all, period. It's not going to register any contrast levels. He can't, it's virtually impossible. We done BEHR silver screen. It doesn't pick up any contrast level. At the time he did it, how many years? 2 years ago? Yeah, it's still ambient light projection technology was in there, gunmetal was there.
Oh, retard alert!
On a black wall, it's not really reflective. So here's with the lights on, the lights off. It's not really that great. Over here too.
That's because you're using black paint, that's why. Black paint doesn't have the ability to be able to pick up white light, that's why. Our technology can read white light. So this is ALR Black technology outside, and not inside, outside on a black surface. If you use black paint's going to come up too dark and you're not going to be able to see the image that well. So that's pretty much, I'm pretty sure what he did in the demonstration was he picked up a black paint, painted the wall with it, and thought it wasn't going to be able to pick the image. It didn't pick the image up because again, you have to be able to have some kind of white light that can read through the screen, and it doesn't read anything. This is our customer also too. If you notice,
You can't hear the flag crying out in vain. I know you can.
I'll make this guy chance pretty good.
You really hear that? Carry him straight up.
This is what I'm talking about. This is the difference between our black technology and using a gray wall. So no, the BEHR 1050, not a good idea. The BEHR 1050 is actually a bad idea because again, this is a product that produces too high as a white level.
You can tell.
Yeah, that's too high of a white level. That's almost close to a white screen. So see how he has the lights on? None of the contrast is on. The screen is completely washed out. Which I said was going to happen. That's the bad thing about white screens. White levels are extremely bad. We'll have to have that in the dark in order for that screen to pick up. There you go. Has to be in a dark environment. And the sad thing about it is that he thinks he's actually seeing a contrast level. This is a good video to actually talk about. He thinks he's seeing a contrast level. There's no contrast level. It's not picking 100% black. Our technology can take BEHR silver screen. Oh, as a matter of fact, let's buy some BEHR silver screen. We can take BEHR silver screen and we can make this stuff look like trash. That stuff doesn't even pick up correctly.
How does that happen?
Yeah, that's not a good way to go with it. But anyway, like I said before, you can just make it yourself, pretty much. BEHR silver screen, if you put some black in it, he would pick up some better tones. But having it just 100% with BEHR silver screen, excuse me, and no black in it, excuse me, and no black in it, yeah, it's never good. There's bunches of these, how to make your own screen paint. They're all over YouTube on how to make your own screen paints. So basically in this decade in time, I would definitely just go with the tones. mixing it, if you do bare silver screen straight by itself, that stuff is actual trash. Bare silver screen is not good. We'll buy some today. Oh, sorry, I had to go to the post office today. We'll buy some tomorrow. And we'll show you what we've done bare silver screen so many times. It's not even funny. We'll show you how horrible this stuff is. Bare silver screen, if you mix it with black, perfect. If you mix it with a darker gray, it's good. If you're using it by itself, bad idea. This is a screen that can't see contrast, doesn't pick up color. None of them do it at the end of the day. Which is better at the end, making it or basically buying it? You're better off just buying it. If you buy it, you don't have to add any glitter to it. If you're going down the route of a gray paint, I don't know why you would. It's an outdated product. But if you are going down that route, I would advise you just go out and just basically buy the tone. That's it. That's all you would have to do. It's going to do the exact same thing. You're not going to have, what's the word for it? You're not going to have that that contrast level. No, you can't be in fully lit environments like this.
Okay, how are we doing out there for
contrast level? This is not going to happen for you. You can't do any of this. This is not going to happen. Not in an environment with this much light. As you can see, the person who's picking the screen, he can't be in an environment like this because his screen would wash out automatically. This is gunmetal technology too at that. Here's my screen I was saying about wrapped around the bare windows. Yeah, there it is right there. So you can't, this is not going to work because again, gray screens don't have ambient light projection technology. So they don't work that way. And you definitely can't take them outside. That'll never happen. These are our outside demonstrations, by the way. That is my screen at 150 inches outside. This is where gray screens can't go to because again, they don't pick up at all, period. This is why when you talk about ambient light projection technology gain, gray screens don't have that capability.
Okay, how are we doing out there? First things first. My name is Kenneth Burt. My company is Crystal Wave Technology Screens. Doing the display on.
Anytime I hear anyone talking about, oh, the gray screen has great, no, it doesn't. It can't do this. They don't pick up, they don't register. And mind, you have to do contrast, colors, everything has to display out there. Not just only colors only. We can do this at 180 inches at around 6 and 5 o'clock in the evening. The gray screen won't register out there. So for the fellow who was talking about the bare silver screen being an excellent choice, no, bare silver screen is actually horrible. You have to put black paint in that in order to get the tone to adjust right. That stuff is pretty bad. So in some of the demonstrations where he turned on that simple light and the screen just completely washed out, you have to be in the dark 24/7 to use that stuff. It doesn't have ambient light projection technology. That does. But anyway, again, getting back, because I got to get out and just kill my time off, which I needed in order to get out the door. If I didn't have this black technology and it didn't exist, where would I go? Would I make it or would I basically buy it? You're just better off buying it. The tones that they have today do the exact same thing. And the reason why is because, like I said, there is, come out of this real quick. I'm going to go back down to the top again. There we go. This right here we have called the blacklist. Now, I know a person's going to feel like we're just singling them out. No, you just happen to be the person who did it. And then tried to convince people at the end of the day that these screens were actually two different screens, but they weren't two different screens. This is how screen paints were made back in the day, black and white paints. This is how they were all made this way. Now with the tones, you don't have to do this anymore because you actually have a perfect tone with the tones. No need to go out and do all that mixing and stuff. You don't have to do any of that if you don't want to. And by the way, there's bare silver screen right over there. So this right here is a demonstration of a fellow who got caught with his product actually matching. Another interesting and disturbing fact too, also too, demonstration that he did on YouTube where he lied to his customers again, telling them that his product produces a higher white level than any gray screen. That's not what you want. You're actually going backwards. You want a higher contrast level than any gray screen. But anyway, this is the same paint as you did in this demonstration. I don't know why it's doing one thing in one demonstration and one thing in another, and then there's no other gray screens up there besides that one particular screen he had up there, which is not good. So we also in this demonstration dozens of times. We'll show you what the results were. These were the results. So this is an everyday gray paint. This is a gray paint from Sherwin Williams. It's Network Gray 773 or SW Network Gray 773. You can go buy it at Sherwin Williams. It was able to match this product with no problem whatsoever. This is the reason why that the tones are considered to be extremely dangerous, because again, if a person who's making these paints and selling them can't back up what makes their product different from a tone, then they're going to have issues. We were never told what kind of tone it was in the demonstration. What particular tone was it? Nothing, just some paint that his daughter was using on a wall. That's basically about it. Were there other tones put up there to show that they had the same reaction? Nope, just that one particular one. So again, there's a lot of questions there about basically that demonstration that he tried to do to prove that he was different from any other gray paints. Have you bought any other gray paints from Home Depot, from eBay? Other people make these products and put against your own product to show that yours is different. None of that was done. All right, people, that's all I have to say. I gotta go. Now, this individual may feel at the end of the day we're just picking on him only. No, we're not picking on you only. You did the demonstration. This is what you did. You are a perfect and fantastic poster child for this particular thing. Why customers need to ask questions on their screen paint products before they buy them. Why that when you do demonstrations, they need to see more information. These tones need to be, if you're going to be out there doing these demonstrations, making false accusations that your products are picking up brighter levels, then what about the Network Gray 773? Does that react the same way? The Amazon Slip Silver or Natural Gray, Silver Mist, any one of those? How do they react to your product? Because again, customers are still going to go out and they're going to buy a gray paint and they know that they're going to save 40 bucks. What's the difference? 60 bucks, I can get a gallon of paint for that much money. And not pay a $70 surcharge fee if I'm living overseas and just buy it right offline. So what's the difference? I think if I was going to do a demonstration and I got caught and busted, basically matching the product, guess what product would have been in that demonstration the second time around? It would have been the one I got caught and got busted in. So I can prove that one. You can't just skip all of this and then start off new and say, hey, same paint, this is what it happens. This comes up looking like a lie. So for the gray paint makers out there, guess what? You're worried about me at the end of the day. It ain't about me. You got to worry about Sherwin Williams, Home Depot, Benjamin Moore, Lowe's. That's what you got to worry about. Because now they got those tones out there. They can easily do the exact same thing your product can do. Amazon can do it. They have the Network Gray the Slip Silvers. Over here you have Home Depot at $60 for 5 gallons. Yeah. All right, people, I gotta go. I gotta take my products out to my customers to get them taken care of. This is why you have to test your stuff. I need how many labels? I gotta grab some labels. I forgot how many labels I need. See 5 labels. Oh, wait, wrong computer for 5 labels. You need 5 labels? Let me see. Need 5 labels. Where are the labels? got them here somewhere. 5 labels. Sorry, please not occupied. Doing something real quick. 5 labels. That definitely wouldn't be it. Alright, let me see. Oh, these are the labels. Alright, goody gumdrops. Alright. I need 5 of these. Now, I'm not going to get there Home Depot today, but I will be there tomorrow. I'll be picking up 2 black paints for my glass technology. Because the dedicated black Cinemax, we beat the crap out of that demonstration on black versus black. So now we have some testing and some fun to have with the new technology we have over here, the glass in 2024. And man, I'm gonna blow through their entire, that whole section of black paints, I'm leveling their whole section. I want that on my list. If everything we did already for the dedicated black Cinemax, how we basically broke all different forms of demonstrations, this one is going to be beyond black versus black. I'm going to knock out their entire black product line under this technology to show you how much of a beast this technology is. Can any gray screen paint do that? No, you can't. I will. I'm going to knock every single one of them out. As a matter of fact, you know what? What time we got here? By the time I get back from the post office, I'm hyped up already on this. See, that's what I'm saying. They don't have my energy at the end of the day. They're scared. They run from these demonstrations. I welcome these demonstrations. This is a challenge. I love this stuff. I'm going to Home Depot today. I'm going to pick me up 4 samples of black paint. Matter of fact, let's go look at this right now and see what I want. That's what I mean. You're buying paints from cowards at the end of the day. People that are afraid to do these tests, that will squeak around demonstrations to try to get by what they can get by. I'll show you how it's done. I'm gonna buy 4 black paints. I'm gonna stick them against that screen. I'm gonna level every single one of them. Let's see what we got here. I want Home Depot black paints. Oh yeah, we get to have fun. What are we picking out? Let's see. I need the house paint semi-gloss. I need 3 different versions. We need the semi ones. I'm getting them for like $7 a pop. For sample, we just need enough for a surface. That's what we need. What's this bear hat? Bear hat, man? I know they got them. $4 a sample. That's it. So we got the Bear Premium Plus. I'm gonna destroy that. What else do we have here? It's the Pro. I'm gonna knock these all out one day. I'm gonna take these out today. This shows you the difference. If you look at our black versus black demonstrations, this is on our black paints. This shows you the level that we travel on when it comes to doing demonstrations against our own products. The rest of these products out here on the market, they're not even worth your time because they can't do what we want to do. They never do what we do. I go to your websites, y'all don't have one test demonstration on gray versus gray. Y'all do the most crappiest test demonstrations I've ever seen. First things first, I'm gonna put this out here real quick. Jamie Fernando Gonzalez, that was the most crappiest demonstration I have ever seen on a gray versus gray besides the ones that you matched. One paint, that's what you had, and then you produced a higher white level? Oh my God, I swear, sorry Lord for saying your name in vain. That's the last thing you want on a gray screen is a higher white level. Then how are you gonna work with contrast? There were no contrast levels displayed in that demonstration. There were no color levels displayed in that demonstration. And on top of that, instead of having that one surface there, you should have had 2 surfaces there. Matter of fact, 3. Bare silver screen, Network Grade 773. What was the other one he had? He was supposed to do the Micro Blend Slip Silver. All three of them should have been in there. So you can show a difference between 3 different grade screens instead of that special one that you never gave anybody the name to it, which one it is, so they could do that test themselves. That's the reason why you didn't give out the name. You said it was a particular paint that your daughter was using for a wall. You never said what kind of paint it was. Because in fear that I would do it or somebody else might do it, that's why you didn't give out that information. But what made that demonstration even more freaking crooked at the end of the day, how can we know the grade paint's up there? And mind you, if that's the same Cinemax from the Network Grade 773, then something is really wrong there. How do you match there, but you don't match here? No. There you go. That's the reason why no one buys this stuff. They are buying it, they haven't seen the videos and demonstrations. Guarantee do, they're going to be putting a charge back, or they're going to basically ask for their money back. We have customers return screens here. You know why? You can't do that. In your policy, you can't even return a screen on this policy. You're stuck with it. We can have you bring the screen back here. You know why? Because I can go on YouTube Live and I can show you your product works. Because my stuff is tested, that's why. Anyone want to take me to court? You can't take me to court. You know why? Because my stuff is tested. I can back myself up anywhere. You can't do that either. You're telling me I can't make it work? I can drop 1,000 lumen projector at 20 feet back. My stuff will still pull. I can drop at 50 at 6 feet and I can still pull. I can knock out any certified company I choose and still pull. I can use cheap old projectors that no one else will touch with a 10-foot pole and still pull. Heck, I can even go outside on a $300 projector and still pull. That's what I said at the end of the day. You gotta make sure your stuff is backed up. You can't just be saying stuff on camera for the sake of just saying stuff on camera. I'm gonna pop over here and pick me up some paints. They got this over here for $3. $3. You're gonna get 2 of these. They got any more? What are the colors they got? More versions of black. It can't be gray because that ain't definitely not gonna work. That's gray. That's considered black. Really? That is really no. It's pearl, black pearl paint. Gee whiz, we would crush that in contrast levels alone. That'd be too easy. That's not even dark enough for me to take it seriously. Black pearl? What would we do with that? Bamboo? Oh my goodness, man. This is not gonna work. It's not even black in my... Look at this. That's not even black. Now that's black. I don't know what this is right here. We would crush that. I'd crush that in contrast levels easy because it's too light of a black. Well, let's just have some fun. What do we have here for now? I'm going to make a list, line them up, make a list of all the paints they have, and then we're going to knock them out. I'm going to knock out the entire product line at Home Depot. I need that for my record, for my technology. These guys just knocked out an entire black product line. That's going to be a nice little, I don't want to say I want to be bragging about it, but man, that does put a heavy record on us, man. I mean, we got over 70 black versus black demonstrations on our products that date back to 70s. And we're going to knock out an entire freaking product line? Yeah! And you guys are scared to do one spring paint. One household product. All right, I need 5 of these. I need 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me get out of here. It's going on 10 o'clock. I guess still got to work out. I ain't shaving today. Got to shower. I'll shave tomorrow, and I got to get my workout in. You want that challenge, by the way, gentlemen? Would you like that challenge? You have to do entire, at least, let's see. I'm doing the whole product line. I know y'all can't do it. We have to make y'all challenges a little different from ours because y'all can't do it. At least 20. Can you do 20 grays against your product, gray versus gray? At least 20. Can you do it? And show a difference. I don't think you can. We can. That technology, that glass technology we have, you know, that stuff does the black paint at the end of the day. That stuff tears that stuff up. Even fabric can't even touch that stuff. Because we had this black fabric draped under the screen to make the what you call look nice. And somebody said, well, why don't you drape that over the screen? Really, you want that? Have y'all learned nothing yet? Oh, come on, just print it out. I gotta get down here to the post office. I got packages to go through. Let me see what's going on here. Out of paper? No, we're not out of paper. That's out of paper there. Let's do those next. Paper. Let's see what you're talking about. Oh, no wonder. That's the issue. Gucci? Gucci, right? Oh, wait. Paper. Let's see. What's your ship off date? I don't remember. I gotta go to the date. Okay, that's one. 19th. All right, I just need two more, just two more. Just two more. Get two more out of this, I'm a happy camper. I'm low on ink, like super low on ink right now. And my labels are black. They use a ton of freaking ink. And I just need to get two more out of this machine. If not, that means I gotta go down, pick up ink. I'm not ordering, I just go to Rite Aid and pick it up. Because if I order it, it'll take forever to get here, and my label's gotta be out here by the 19th. This is why I always mark your labels 4 days ahead, just in case if anything pops up, we're covered. So we got it. Come over, we got it. We got it. We need that last. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Tell me my Lord is not good. Man, you know what happened if basically, because I'm going to be out today, I'm going to get this dropped off because I got orders coming in. If I didn't have enough ink, and I'm at my very little lease on here, I got nothing left. And the Lord bless me, my labels are black, so they're hard to print out. And they use a lot of ink. If I didn't have enough ink, that means I would have to postpone shipping off the screen today. I had to go down to Rite Aid, go pick up, because the next Rite Aid is downtown. Go down to Rite Aid, pick up the ink, come back, load everything up, and then pop out the door. I wouldn't have time to do all that. But they learned it. They did. God is good. God is good. God is good. God is good. So now this is done. The order's going to be out today. So taken care of. Yes. Because yesterday I went to some nonsense, man. Good thing I have backup containers. Sometimes I have backup and don't even know, and I had to look through all my stuff here. All my stuff is packed here. But anyway, I had to look through my stuff, and I found like 2 extra containers, 2 extra gallon containers. Because freaking, sometimes I get my containers from Amazon. Because if I'm buying like 2 or 3, I'm not buying like 18 or 19 or 30 from Uline. And the guy says he couldn't drop off the package. Dude, just open up the door. There's literally security cameras on the side of the building. There's security cameras right there. And when you walk into the vestibule, there's 2 cameras staring you dead in the face. So you can't steal packages out there. It's virtually impossible. And no one steals around here anyway. We never had that problem since I've been here. And he says, oh, there's no way to get in. We didn't want to do his job. So instead of him coming back the next day to drop off the containers, he sends it back to the sender. Like, why would you do that? Now, by the time it takes me to reorder again and get them out here, my labels are set for the 19th. I'm going to be past that already. I'm going to get these out here to the customers as fast as possible. So I had to dig through all my stuff that I have in here, stacked away, packed away, and I found 2 empty containers, 2 gallon containers. They must have been had from my last order, and they were there the entire time. So thank God all that worked out. So get these guys all taken care of. This time I'm just going to go to Uline and just spend the money, like $60, and just drop a whole bunch of containers, which I don't want a lot of stuff in here because I told you all my stuff is packed. Only thing I have over here is just the stuff that I'm using. That's it. I'm getting me a house. I'm leaving this apartment life. I'm done with it. It serves its purpose and all, but I can't do it. I can't. They had a nerve to sit there and say, "You're gonna renew your lease?" No. I'm not putting anybody down that lives in an apartment at the end of the day. Trust me, I'm not. It is just not the life for me. I'm used to being in all houses. I've had houses since day one. The minute I came out of my rented room, house. Got here and got an apartment because I thought, let's try the apartment life. See what it's like. I don't like it at all, period. I don't care if it's a condo. I don't care if it's got high ceiling. I don't care. I don't like the apartment life. I hate it. I basically like having that house life. Come out the door, especially when you got no neighbors attached to you. You come out the door, you hear people walking over top of you. You hear people underneath of you. None of that nonsense. It is yours. That's how I like it. No, I ain't doing that ever again. At least I can say I did it. I can literally say that I have done the apartment life, but I am never doing it ever again. And I mean this when I say this. I would rather live in a cardboard box on the side of an interstate highway than ever live in an apartment ever again. Keep in mind, everybody here minds their own business. People are really quiet in here. I just don't like the fact of having people this close to me. I just don't like it. I'm used to being in a house. It's different. House life and apartment life is two different things. It's two different things. It really is. And once you've done all houses, going to an apartment is a huge, massive change. Just I'm used to opening up my door and seeing nothing but a driveway and grassy knoll. Not opening up my doorway and see somebody else's door staring me in the face. Nah, we ain't doing this anymore. Nah. Well, I can't wait for this lease to be over. You have no idea. That's why there's no furniture in here. Nothing. The first minute I moved in here, that's when it hit me. And I was like, oh, gee whiz, what the freak did I do? I signed a 1-year lease to be in a hamster's cage for a freaking 1 year. Literally feels like prison to me in this place. It really does. I do my demonstrations. I work out. I put all my workout equipment, so I can work out in here. It literally feels like I'm in jail sometimes. I come in and work out like 3 and 4 times a day when I'm in here. And then I got to get out of here as much as possible. I don't like being in here. And like I said, the people are nice, very polite. It's a well-mixed community, neighborhood. People here are unfreaking believably nice. I mean, really freaking nice out here. But I can't take this apartment life. I can't do it. I did it for 1 year and I'm out. That's it. Never doing it again. Ever. So it's just a lot of things I'm not used to. And it's not saying that you live in an apartment. No, that's you. Some people like the apartment life. I have plenty of brothers and sisters. They have apartments. They like it. All my brothers and sisters got houses now. They're older like me. But, the younger generation, they have apartments. They like it. They love it. I just don't. It's not for me. And if you live in an apartment, I'm not putting you down in any way whatsoever. But it's me, my personal opinion, how I feel about it. I've never had an apartment in my entire life. I've rented all houses. And now I see why the benefit of having a house. Because I can just open up the door and boom, even if it's just a sidewalk, there's no other doors, there's nobody staring at me, there's no one around me at all, period. When I'm in a house, I'm by myself. You don't feel like you're by yourself in an apartment, you really don't. And I should have a discussion, apartment versus house. This time around, I'll be owning my property. Yeah, I'm not paying rent to anybody anymore. I'm gonna own my house. So I'm looking at a couple places and I'm buying about 7 acres of land. Because this time when I walk out, because I've done the house life, I've done the detached apartment, I've done the detached house, I've done that already. Not far enough, I can tell you that right there, not far enough. This time, I want to be to open up my door and see no one. Even if I got a house about 2 miles from me would be really nice, because at least there's someone around me. I don't want to be completely out there, but 2 miles is good. If I pull out a pair of binoculars and I can see your house, you're not far enough away from me. Much better, much better. Guys, like 1 mile away, I'm good with that, 100%. Yeah, that's pretty much it right there, people. Can't do the apartment life. I hate it so much. I haven't bought anything for this place. I mean, literally, I bought nothing for this place. First 2 days here, hearing somebody over top me and underneath me, that's weird. It really is weird. Really weird. For me, it is weird because I'm used to being in houses. I didn't like that too much at all, period. So that's why my music playing 20. I got speakers in every room in this place. I got a speaker system in the kitchen. I got one in the room. I got one in the bathroom. My speaker bathroom, everything. I got speakers throughout the entire place. So when I come in here, all I hear is my music that's here. It's not loud enough for making anyone discomfortable, but it's a wraparound surround sound in every freaking room, so I don't hear nobody but my music. That's all I want to hear. That's it. I don't want to hear anybody else. When I come out my doorway, thank God I don't see anybody at all, period. I bump into a few people, hi, how you doing? That's it, so I'll leave it at that. I didn't socialize, I'm not into hanging out with them. No. We don't do all that, no. I come here, I work, I sleep, I eat, whatever, and boom, that's it. I had to tell a few people that when I moved here. I'm sorry, I'm not a social person. All it is about work for me. So that's how I've been doing. Get my grind on, working hard, getting what has to be done, because my next level, get myself a nice contract, get plenty of money pushing in for the company, get myself 7 acres of land, build me a nice little small house out there, and just chill with me and my cat until the day that I die. There's my plans right there. 2024, but they're still designing new technology, same category. Ugh. And there are some people out there that agree with me 100% what I'm saying. There are some people who never even had a house and live in apartments and can't wait to get their own place. Trust me, there's going to be a huge, massive change. You are going to freaking love it. You will never, ever go back. Never. And then if you live in an apartment for the first time and you don't like it, it'll turn you off from other apartments. It did for me. They got new condos and stuff coming up down here, open up. I'm eligible for every last one of those babies. I got an amazing credit score. But would I go in any of them? Oh, heck no. Because I still got to be around other people. Now, I just want that freedom to be by myself. And that's what I'm about to get. Where are we at on this? Let me come out of here. Let me go back to my scenery. Doing this ever again. So yeah, none of my stuff is packed up. Every last one of these closets, all my stuff is packed. I didn't unpack anything. I ain't buying no furniture, nothing. My first thought, I know we're way off topic here, but we're done. My first thought was basically when I moved into an apartment, I was going to pay $3,000 for a wraparound sofa, put in a fish tank aquarium, all this stuff. Had plans to buy all this stuff. The first minute I heard kids running over top of the ceiling, I packed everything up. Because I can't do it if I know I can't do it anyway. I just can't do it. I packed everything up. All my stuff is packed up in my closets. The only thing I left out is stuff that I need. When somebody's saying, oh, you're sleeping on the floor, I'm not buying no bed. So what, I can lug that freaking heavy thing out the door, stick it inside of a truck to take it to God? No, I'm good. I'm good. Living in an apartment has turned me off so much that at the end of the day that I wouldn't even buy a dish rack for this place. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice place, but no, this ain't no home. This is work. That's all it is. Been to do it for like 4 years. Oh, I would kill myself. I'm sorry. If people get offended over this, I do apologize. This offends you in any way whatsoever. I can't apologize about it because I'm speaking my mind. It's the truth. It's not to put you down in any way. Other people think that, oh, he thinks he's above everybody. No. It's me, what I like, okay? So if you twisted by that and that bothers you, and go kick rocks. I don't care. That's another thing that gets me too. This freaking generation at the end of the day really gets on my nerves, and I'll tell you why they get on my nerves. They're so freaking, what's the word for it? Everything offends them. Literally everything offends them. Gee whiz, when I was coming up, you spoke your mind, you liked it, didn't, you went about your business. That was it. That was the end of it. You don't cry about every freaking thing. Gee whiz. What do you mean you don't like apartment life? It's pretty nice. I already had a conversation with some hipster freaking in the park about that. I love the freaking apartment life. That's you then. That's you. More power to you. God bless. That's not me. I'm not going to, because I don't agree with what you think at the end of the day, it doesn't mean I'm disrespecting you. I just don't like it. See right here? That's my dream right there. A house in the middle of freaking nowhere. That is my ultimate dream right there. And that's where I'm gonna die at, in the house, just like that. By my freaking self. I think everybody can agree with me on this one right there after COVID. I think a lot of people agree with me on that one after COVID. I was so blessed that I didn't spend COVID in an apartment. I didn't. I spent COVID in a house that was detached from everybody else's, and no one was freaking around me except for me and the cat. That was it. That is my dream right there, people. I couldn't care less about Lamborghinis and expensive cars and jewelry. That technology I got sitting right at glass is gonna make me a millionaire. It's just gonna make me a ton of money. Do I care about having all that expense? No, this is what I want. That's it. A simple life. No fancy cars, no clubs, no people, none of that stuff. Just me, my animals, in the middle of nowhere with God. That's it. See some beautiful mountains in the background, some beautiful trees. That's it. Nice little garden in the back to attract some butterflies and beautiful birds. And at nighttime, the whole entire area is illuminated with fireflies. That's my paradise right there. I couldn't care less about fancy restaurants and tried to show off clout. What do they call it? Clout, right? At the end of the day, trying to floss, and I guess they call it drip, or what do they call it? At the end of the day, trying to show how much I have. I don't care. Just to be in that house, be sitting there watching TV with a ham sandwich, watching some Hogan Heroes with my animals, I'm good. That's happiness right there, people. And I'm getting it too. I'm gonna get it. Because I worked my butt off when I was in this place. I worked my behind off. I'm gonna get it. It's God's will. I'm gonna have it. And in that house, I'm gonna cut off all ties with social media. I don't want to be bothered with it anymore. I don't want no connection to the outside world. This is going to be my world. Yeah, because I'm done with social media. I love it, I use it, I work with it, but there comes a time in your life you just don't want to be around it anymore. So I'm definitely going to have my cell phone because people need to reach me. But I know my business associates contact me and whatever. When it comes to the time that I can basically let them run it and I can basically walk away from it, yeah, this is where I'm going to be at. A bunch of Highlander cows. All right, people. Well, in order for me to get that dream, I got to go to work. So I got orders to get off the door, and I got things to do. As for you gray screen paint makers, at the end of the day, well, look, at the end of the day, take it any way you want. I don't care how angry you get at the end of the day toward me. Why are you angry at me? You got to back your products up. You want that dream like that? You want to be to have a life, you know what I mean? Any life you want to have in the day, you want that to come true, then guess what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to fight that next stage. And that next stage is coming up. It's going to be a freaking doozy. Because, man, that thing is going to cut the gravy train off, clean off. Those tones are perfect. Meanwhile, I'm going to go and get myself some more black paint because we got this new technology over here coming out in 2024, and man, I want to challenge the crap out of it. I want to knock out the entire black paint product line from Home Depot on that technology, just to back up his black versus black. Matter of fact, we're going to call this one the ultimate black versus black. That's what we call it. Destroy everything in Home Depot. And we got the bragging rights to say, man, this technology right here doesn't match any black paint. We wiped an entire product line out of Home Depot. Besides, the paint woman makes the paint, she's pretty cute. So, yeah. Anyway, gotta go, people, and God bless.